Today, I'd like to share my guidance plan for early childhood educators. To begin, it is recommended that early childhood educators teach with an authoritative caregiving style. Authoritative caregiving involves both the presence of high responsiveness or warmth coupled with high demandingness or control. There are an abundance of benefits for children, including high life satisfaction for a child later on in life, lower mental disorders, and higher levels of cognitive flexibility. Here are some practical ways to teach authoritatively. First, you can greet each student warmly. This builds a friendly communal environment where children feel safe. It's important to set and maintain limits that are age appropriate. Speak using I statements and be clear, concise, direct, and use a child's name when speaking to a child. And use behavior-specific praise to increase student engagement. All of the following help the classroom feel safe, inviting, and students know that there are boundaries and limits. Before engaging in direct and indirect guidance strategies, it's really important to understand how child development affects children's emotional regulation. When children are toddlers, they often have difficulty ignoring extraneous information. They have poor memories and have very egocentric perspectives, which makes it really difficult for them to regulate their emotions. Thankfully, as an educator, there are very practical ways to stimulate emotional regulation in children. For starters, you can teach them vocabulary surrounding emotions, both deliberately and incidentally. For example, deliberate would be introducing the word frustrated and tying it to the word mad in a large group time, and having students practice a mad face and a frustrated face and comparing it with a happy or elated face. Teachers can model the use of emotional synonyms by talking about their own experiences, and you can also learn about emotions in books. It is important to repeat with a variety of synonyms. Indirect instruction is extremely important to consider as an early childhood educator. It's important to first create a classroom that is welcoming and visually appealing. Within the classroom, educators should ensure that there are activity spaces that are diverse, plentiful, and that meet the need for both collaborative and individual play on the children's part. It's important to include a space for small group and also a space for large group. Planning is also a part of indirect instruction. Educators should choose content that's worthy of students' time, content that's engaging, and developmentally appropriate. It's important to always remember that students should have choice in the classroom. This empowers them. Transitions are important to consider, and they should assist in child development. You could do a song, you could coincide with memory of children's shapes or colors or the alphabet. And as the year progresses, it's important for teachers to assess and change plans as needed. Direct guidance, on the other hand, refers to behavior management of students, and it's important to use best practices of guidance strategies. The Louisiana Bulletin 137 defines behavior management as the ongoing positive process of helping children develop inner control so that they can manage their own behavior in an appropriate and acceptable manner by using corrective action to change the inappropriate action. Direct guidance. There are definitely best practices to do, and there are antiquated practices that are just not appropriate, nor are they permitted to do. Best practices. Teachers should treat students with respect and dignity, and they should use developmentally appropriate strategies. Teachers should restate a limit to a child in a firm but positive manner. Educators should give clear and concise reasons for limits, and they can tell students what to do instead of what not to do. It's important to strive to involve parents in two-way communication. At no time should teachers use corporal punishment, yell, spank, slap, yank, shake, pinch, or expose to extreme temperatures, among other things. Within the classroom, it's important to incorporate content that promotes self-esteem, social emotional learning, and pro-social behavior. Pro-social behavior includes sharing, helping, and cooperating, and it's important to teach cognitive skills side by side with social emotional skills. Many children, unfortunately, come to the classroom and they have endured ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences. Educators, thankfully, can help these students learn coping strategies to manage their anger and stress. Teachers can model stress management. They can expose students to children's literature that model appropriate anger management strategies. Teachers can be very, very helpful to help these students develop resilience. All right, so quiz. What is not a direct guidance best practice strategy to redirect a student who isn't complying with a limit? Correct answer is corporal punishment. This is not only not a best practice, it is absolutely permitted. Absolutely not permitted. Quiz. Which compliment displays behavior-specific praise? Great job, Susanna. Wow, you are awesome, Pablo. George, I love how you took the time to color in every single shape on your paper. You worked really hard on that drawing. C, this is very specific and lets the child know exactly what behavior he did well. Here are my references, and thank you for listening.